Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Full Potential Parenting Podcast. I'm Allison Morris, and thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to do another book review today, and I chose this lovely book, Beyond Behaviors by Dr. Mona Delahooke. And let me read the subtitle, which is Using Brain Science and Compassion to Understand and Solve Children's Behavioral Challenges. I have so marked this book up. I have underlined, I've starred, I've turned pages over, I have, I've just gone through it with marked it up a lot. There are so many things to love about this book. It just came out earlier this year. I had the great pleasure of interviewing Dr. Delahooke for the most recent Full Potential Parenting Summit. And we had a really lovely conversation about many of the concepts that are included in the book. So what Dr. Delahooke has done is put together just a tremendous resource for parents and for therapists, for educators, for really anyone who deals with children with big emotions and behaviors, to help them understand why focusing on behaviors is the last thing you want to do. Now, if that sounds completely shocking to you and you think, wait a minute, but these kids are acting out and they're being bullies and they're being oppositional and they're talking back and being disrespectful and blah, 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 blah. I totally get it. I understand where you're coming from. And I'm here to tell you that that approach, that whatever it is that you have been doing to try to handle that, to try to control those behaviors, to try to get them to go away, my guess is they have not been working, right? School suspensions are through the roof. All sorts of awful practices like isolation rooms and really just some horrific things that just, I think, really, really traumatize our children are, used all over the place. And it's all because of really going at things with the wrong model, which is kind of assuming that all these children are capable of what she refers to as top-down processing, right? Which is the rational, logical, cognitive, able to listen to instructions and then follow them, all those sorts of things. And yet our children, as she explains, are being mostly driven from bottom-up responses to their physiological instincts. Key to all of this is a concept which was coined by Dr. Stephen Porges, who enunciated the polyvagal theory, which is the concept of neuroception, which is our body's unconscious threat detection system. So unconscious, right? So no conscious perception. This is neuroception. So this is your body picking up on signals and cues from the environment and always asking the question, is it safe? Is it dangerous? Is it dangerous? Is it dangerous? Is this life-threatening? Are we safe? This constant questioning and then getting feedback. And for so many of our children, this system is a bit off kilter. So it's called faulty neuroception. Anyway, this book goes into great detail about how that works. It also, and this is another thing I love, goes into great detail about honoring our children's individual differences. So it is so easy to slip into the thinking that there's just this sort of one model, right? If I only knew the one approach to dealing with these kids, everything would be great. But our kids are individuals and they've had individual life experiences. They have individual physiologies, individual histories of brain development, neurological development, and it just doesn't work often. And so I love how she focuses on what she calls, like the getting below, right, the behavior. So you see all the behaviors on top of the water and then digging down to the rest of the iceberg, which is, it's something like 90% of the iceberg is submerged under the water. What is beneath the behaviors that is driving the behavior? That's where we need to start. The other aspect of this book, and there's so much great information. There's lots of worksheets that you can go through to try to get a better handle on either your child or a child you're working with or a child in your classroom, but also the idea of what a team effort this is. So in every example in this book, pretty sure this is a true statement, she talks about really the enormous team of people that have come together to try to help a child. So she, as one therapist, is not magically fixing a child because of her approach, right? It's also requires the parents. It may require the school teachers. It may require paraprofessionals. It may require occupational therapists or physical therapists or others in this whole team kind of cocooning around and kind of reinforcing the foundation, providing scaffolding for this child to recover, so that their nervous systems are functioning in a more, I don't want to use the word adaptive way, because our bodies are always adaptive, right? Our kids are always responding in a way that is adaptive. I'm going to talk about that actually in another episode, go into that in more detail, but in a way that allows them to function more easily, more flexibly, with more versatility, and with more enjoyment in their schools, in their homes, in their social lives, because our kids, despite appearances of the contrary, do not enjoy being quote unquote bad and disappointing all the adults in their life. And so I love how this book really honors that and provides a real easy way to understand this paradigm shift that frankly is so long overdue in this country, in this world. And so I urge you to pick up a copy of this book. I really cannot recommend it highly enough. It's easily understandable. It's it's a quick read, and you're going to want to keep it nearby for a lot of quick reference in the future. So go out and buy Dr. Mona Delahooke's Beyond Behaviors, and let me know what you think about it. And then if you would like to get some more parenting resources, I want to invite you, as always, to hop on over to parentingmasterclass.com, where you can pick up free masterclass. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Bye-bye.